So as you can imagine, there is very few situations more crazy at retail before Christmas time than working at a toy shop. Now, keep in mind, I have viewers from all over the world. When I do something holiday themed in December, I try to keep it as kind of like neutral as possible. I know a lot of people who celebrate things that are not the Christmas holiday. But for a retail space, Christmas is still the big shopping holiday, so here we kind of have to acknowledge it. So, for us, we try our best, but this is when things get absolutely insane. It does for any store, but in particular for a toy store, because now you've got a lot of people who are not only making up for last minute stuff, making up for things that got screwed up elsewhere. So, case in point. We get a call this week because somebody was asking us for replica championship belts. You know, like replica, well, jeez. I don't know why I'm describing it. There we go. There we go. Someone asking us for replica wrestling championship belts. No, we don't have any of those. Which we don't technically because this is mine. This is my pretty. I've never bought a wrestling belt in the past. Always wanted one. Might as well be this one. But they did so because they had ordered one online. And instead of getting a wrestling championship belt, they got a handheld vacuum cleaner. Okay, it has to be Amazon. I can only assume that is the one place that would make that mistake. Pity the person who tried to order someone a handheld vacuum cleaner for the holidays, and now they have to give them a WWE Intercontinental title. But So there's a lot of cases where it's not just the normal Christmas rush, but it's also people who are in situations like that, who are just clamoring for whatever they can get their hands on at the last minute. I cannot tell you how many people in here in the last week have just sat and wandered around the store aimlessly, toiling over what to get. So it's a little store. But as far as pop culture goes, we've got just about every sector and genre covered in at least one way or another. I've got a horror section. I've got a little bit of Lego. I've got just about everything in the Funko Pops. And then action figures aplenty. So generally, yeah, if you have any kind of geek inclination in your life, you can get some kind of gift for them here of some kind. But man, the people who just wander around this store, and sometimes it's over a dozen people. I can barely fit a dozen people in this store, and to have that many in here all wandering around at the same time, no one really sure what they're after. It's chaos. It's, if you've ever been gridlock traffic, if you've ever driven in Los Angeles or Atlanta, it's that kind of traffic, except now it's in my shop, and I have to hope and pray nobody beats anything up or knocks anything onto the floor, which also happens a lot. You have the chaos that comes from people bringing their kids. And I don't know why. I understand. Okay, I take that back. I know why you bring your kids when you're going shopping at a store like this, especially if you want to get them something for Christmas time, because you need some idea of what they want. So you tell them, no, we're just here to look. And then when mom shoos them off, dad swipes the credit card. So we've had a lot of that, but man, it's so much more chaos because when you tell a kid, no, Christmas is coming up, you can't get anything while they're in a toy store, that never ends well. Not once has that ever gone well. There's crying, there's yelling, there's screaming, there's toy store noise. The kind of stuff you'd expect from an old Toys R Us. Also, I'm going to put this down because my arm is falling asleep. Much as I would like to be your AEW World Heavyweight Champion, unfortunately, I do not have a match with MJF booked. But it's a lot of situations like that, and then just everyone coming in asking me for everything under the sun. This week, I've been asked for specific Funko Pops. I have been asked for cribbage boards. I have been asked for the new One Piece TCG, which actually we should actually be able to get in. I've been asked for Gundam models. I've been asked for Dungeons & Dragons stuff, which, hey, we're actually doing something about that one soon. But we've also, we've gotten the weird ones, too. Someone asked if we sold... Someone asked me for old Super Nintendo games. We're not that kind of store. Someone asked me for... board games. We're not that kind of store. Someone asked for a PS5. And now I can understand with some of those things like a PS5 where the demand is like super high and the supply is generally low. I know it's gotten easier, but Sony still like I feel like Sony still intentionally limits how many they make just to keep that demand nice and high. You're willing to call around just about any place that has toys or games somewhere in the title of their store, just hoping maybe they've got something. So we get that in. We get walk-in for that as well. And then there is just the amounts. Like, juggling the amounts that these people buy around the holidays is insanity. Keep in mind, like, for a little store like this, we're usually built and designed to sell small batches of things at a time. A few packs of Pokemon cards, like 3 Funko Pops. So, like, we don't really store, like, giant bags. We have some for backup, but we don't really have, like, a huge supply of things that can store, like, massive quantities. And I guess that's kind of a holiday oversight on our part. Something we didn't even think about until halfway through the holiday season. A lot of people shop with people that they are shopping for. Again, trying to get ideas by gauging their reactions. So when someone shoos them out the door, they go, "Can you double bag that so they can't see it?" It's like they're here with you. They're gonna know what you got just with the size of the bag. So we didn't think about like opaque bags, which I really should have thought about. In Japan, every collector shop does like just jet black opaque bags because there's still a stigma in Japan about toy collecting and being an adult that still likes toys. So like it's like there's a lot of people ashamed of it. So there's like, here's a black bag so you can go on the train and ride home without anyone looking at you weird. I should have thought things like that are in my mind all the time, just weird little factoids like that. So I don't know why I didn't think, I should probably make sure we have some black bags so people can sneak things out. So there's a different process to every single purchase. It's okay. It comes to this total. Would you like a text or email receipt? Are you smuggling this in? Do you need to hide this from anybody in your car? So that's a lot that we have to account for as well. It's chaotic is what it is. I mean, it's the most brilliant kind of chaos because this is a time of year where, like stores like this do fantastic. The chaos for us is going to come next month when everyone's spent out. In the first couple of weeks, people have Christmas cash and they'll come in and buy. But for the most part, we'll be in like recovery mode and like, how do we progress from here mode? But we have plans for that too. You always have to plan for it. We got new sections coming. Like I said, D&D is coming to the store. I'm super excited for that. But no, you really like, even if like, you really have to work retail once in your life around this time of year to really understand just what goes on, because it's a flurry of things. And topple that with the stuff that people expect out of a collector's store. People are going, do you still have these? Do you have a sealed box of this magic in the back that you can go get? Do you still have any more of these figures in the back that you're storing away? I'm like, why would I hide stuff? Like, why would I not have out everything I could possibly sell? What was a big one? What was a big one I kept getting a lot of? Haggling. Everyone expects a little shop like this to be able to haggle down the prices. And, sometimes, yeah, that's true. Because, like, the prices we get things for because we're buying collections kind of fluctuates. There's some things in the store where, we're kind of riding the line as far as, like, what we could possibly make off of something because, we're kind of heavy into it. And then there's other stuff where we just got such a ridiculous deal on it that, okay, yeah, if you want a few bucks off of that, sure, because we're still doing great on it. So things like that fluctuate too. But like around this time of year where everyone's trying to get as many presents as possible, that question gets tossed around all the time. It's a valid question. It is a valid question in a shop like this. Keep in mind, I'm the manager, right? I do the research to set the prices, but once the prices are set, that is it. Everything after that needs owner approval, because at that point, I'm asking him to take less for something. That's not the best situation. But you know what? Like I said, it's a fair situation, because things like that happen. People looking for trade-in a lot this time of year. So, imagine this in a situation where you've got people coming in. They're like, I've got a stack of Funkos on the table. Someone's looking for the value, see if they want to trade it in, get a discount on something better, get something out of the fancy case over here. At the same time, I've got people at the register looking at Pokemon cards. I got people wandering around the Funko Pop section. I got people sorting through my Marvel Legends, and I got kids crying because they can't get the Pikachu doll that they just found on this floor. All at once. Here's the thing, if you are a standard retail worker, you've got other people who have to deal with it. Generally, you're not the only counter monkey at the electronics section. Typically, you've got a few people to kind of wander around the section and go and like handle people, cut them off before they get to your counter and start bugging you with it. Or, if you've got something in the middle of, you can go like, hey, Dave, come here. Dave, come here. Look, I know you're playing the demo for Mario Kart. Get over here. I don't care if you're on the third lap. Get over here and help this guy. You can do that. Here, I'm on my lonesome. This is it. Is anyone else here? Anyone else? It's just me. Little shop like this, you don't really need two people running everything. Generally, yeah, you can handle this all on your own. So, this is the time of year where things do get super chaotic, where, yes, I am juggling people asking me questions about the inventory. No, we don't have that in the back. Yes, we have this Funko Pop. Let me dig it out real quick. The kid is crying on the corner. These people want me to root around my Pokemon stacks, get them packs. I've got someone calling on the phone asking if we've got cribbage boards. I don't even know what a cribbage board is. I've never played cribbage in my life, but this person needed one, and hey, look, who did they call? The place with the retro toys. It's not that kind of retro toy. It's a lot of balance. This is where, admittedly, this is a fun job. And most of the time, admittedly, it's kind of an easy job because this is all stuff I know really well and stuff that I love. So we're dealing with like my own, even if this is not my store, this is my passion project. And I still, I love being in this environment, and I love talking to the people, and I love like sharing all this knowledge that is otherwise useless in the real world. On the other hand, handling it alone is the worst part sometimes around this time of year because it is overwhelming. There is so much going on at once. Not only the typical stuff that goes on with a collector's store like this, but then the holiday rush as well. And I'm still running this solo, which I guess, hey, it hasn't fallen apart, and we're doing really well this month, so I'm assuming I'm doing everything right. Like I'm actually handling my job well. I presume I am, because everything seems to be, running pretty okay here. But that's me tooting my own horn, which I don't really prefer to do. This is just observational at this point. But yeah, you roll in a lot of typical retail stuff with a lot of stuff that also goes on at the collector shop, and then, like you amplify a lot of that. And that's the holiday time at a collector's store. Everyone needing toys for Christmas and last minute stuff, and Pokemon cards are completely wiped out all over town, but guess who has a whole wall behind him? So this is where they come. So just before you think that this is some kind of dream job, just before you think, okay, well, it's not like normal retail establishments, admittedly, most of the time it's not. There are days here that it's just like, we make enough money to pay the bills and make quota for the week, and I'll spend a couple hours just grinding away in Pokemon on Scarlet and Violet raids. Just waiting for customers to come in, essentially. Or more usually, I'm working on videos here. I got like 3 different scripts I'm working on right now behind the scenes, trying to get them out before Christmas, or at least before the end of the year. It's a lot. And times like this, there are times where, yeah, I would actually call this worse than a normal retail job. And the thing is, most of the customers here are the very least nice. I don't run into Karens or anything. But when you tie all the stuff that goes on during retail in the holidays, combined with all the stuff that normally happens at a toy shop, you get a ton of things, lots of plates spinning at once that you just have to keep spinning and keep them in the air and hope nothing crashes. So before you think it's all sunshine and rainbows working at this shop, yes, there are times where it can get chaotic, but at the very least, it's a predictable time. It's that time of the year. 'Tis the season and all that. But you know what? I will take that. I will certainly take that over getting a World Championship vacuum cleaner for Christmas, because that is still a lot better than what I could be doing for a living. And that's the toy store life. Guys, I am facing the most powerful enemy any YouTuber can face, the algorithm, and I need your help to defeat him. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and leave a comment. Every time you do, we attack that algorithm and we drive it back until it can no longer defeat this channel. Thank you very much.